So I did some research. Yeah, learning new things every day, right? So I found out that my SD card is big enough because one video takes like 3 or 4 gigabytes and I've got a memory card for 128, right? But there is something in the settings that is like limiting the recording time, right? So the maximum length should be like 29 minutes, but just because something in the settings is probably wrong, I should, you know, like, yeah, like it's gonna be limited to like 16, 17 minutes or 20. We will see. Like the moment the thingy like turns red, I will try to cut the story and then continue in a new clip, I think. Yeah, I told you. I'm not a technical type. Oh my god, this is gonna be so funny to watch like later on. But it's actually good that it's kind of like limiting me, because even I myself, when I'm like 60 or 70 years old, I'm not gonna watch a 40-minute video, right? Although you can just, you know, you can stop it in the middle and then watch the rest like later, so it's not a problem to have like long videos, right? So yeah, never mind. So I got a bit cold, so I put the fluff on. Oh my god, this is genuinely like the softest thingy in the world. I just love it. Still smells nice. Yeah, lovely. It's from Primark, because we got a Primark in my lovely country as well. It came like this year actually. I think it was opened here in this city yeah, like this year or definitely last year, because it's a bloody January. I cannot get used to the fact that, you know, it's January, but never mind. So we got it open and I wanted to buy those tights. I did talk about it when I was creating my scrapbook, right? Like those tights from Primark. Yeah, amazing. So I went there to buy that, and then I just saw these like fluffy thingies and I just couldn't resist. So love those, love those. So let's move on. Okay, where were we? Yeah, my ex-boyfriend, you know, like missing him, and my mum being her, you know, just realistic, lovely lady. Yeah, my plant. Do you know the big one? The big plant that I had it in the background. Like, I hope it's just because of the winter, because like a lot of leaves are like falling down from it, and that is scaring me. But there are also like new leaves growing, so I don't know what's going on. I hope it's just, you know, because it's much colder, so they're like trying to, like, you know, keep the heat in or something. And it always like freaks me out when like one of the leaves you know, like falls down, you know, in the middle of the night. It's a bit freaky. Freaky. Yeah, never mind. So let's continue. Okay, so we are in 4 minutes and 41 seconds, and this is a third video already. Rambling. That's why I named this channel Reminiscing and Rambling, because this is what I'm doing. But nobody's gonna watch anything anyway, so like, who gives a fuck? But you know, like, yeah, it's quite funny. But I like it. That's why I'm doing it, right? So let's move on, shall we? Reply to his message. He still, like, you know, he messaged me the day after because he didn't want to lose me, and then I just fucked it. Yeah, you did. Yeah. It was because of Ollie, I'm not gonna lie. It was like, because Ollie showed me that, you know, there are people in the world like who are, you know, on the same page, who would be willing to travel with me and just have some kind of like exciting life that would, you know, be amazing and adventurous and stuff. And my ex-boyfriend was definitely not, you know, that kind of person, but still, he went to visit me. He just went on a plane by himself and he just asked me to marry him and stuff, so maybe he would be willing to do that with me. Maybe. Anyway, I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be fine in the morning. I just had to... Yeah, you will be fine, darling. Okay, so we are getting into the the shit part of this whole story. So, because I left in October 2014. Oh my god. Yeah, October 2014. And I met Ollie in July or August. I think it was August. It was 21st of August. That was our first like date. And when I got back, okay, so I moved to the UK. Right? Oh my god, rambling. So I moved to the UK on 21st of October in October, and then in November my ex-boyfriend decided to visit me, and just because he realized how serious I was and that I was not just, you know, chatting shit, he proposed to me, like in my... Where is he? This is Oliver. He's on the top. Yeah, he proposed to me, and we've got it. Like in the scrapbook I showed you, there was this little box for the ring. So we went to the Seven Sisters and he proposed to me, and in that time I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Because I didn't understand, because I was still really angry. I was still really angry with him, and I just didn't believe him. But then after some time I got a bit of a lonely time, and just because he changed his attitude and he started like promising, and I said that in those previous videos, like he started to be like incredibly supportive, and he was like, oh my god, like you can do it, and I'm, you know, I believe in you and you are the best, and you know, like everything will be amazing, and when you are back, like, you know, we will be together and I will do everything that you want, and you know, I'm sorry that I was not listening to you, and I will do like anything, and we will find a perfect place for us where we're gonna live and things like this. And then he visited me the second time, which was like in March or May of 2015, and it was amazing. It was really lovely. It was so cool, because like I believed him at that time, and he kind of like chilled out as well, and we had an amazing time. We went to London, we went to the Madame Tussauds, and it was great. We had like, it was like the good old days when we were just, you know, like chatting and, you know, making fun of each other, and it was really cool. And at that time I really did believe that, you know, we had a chance. But then, you know, like, because I was on my mission, and you know, I was meeting new people, I was changing my jobs, I was moving, you know, to like different like houses, and I was meeting like so many new people all the bloody time, and that made me feel like, you know, I will never learn everything, like I will never be like good enough, I will never get the confidence to actually like stand in front of somebody and like teach them the language. Like it was too much, and I was like, I want to go back as fast as possible, but I just can't. Do you know, like I wanted to go back to my mummy, I wanted to go back to him, but you know, the pressure of the fucking language was just too much. It was really like, it was too much, and I was getting like, you know, like scared. And just because he started to be like pushing me, like, when are you coming back, like have you got a plane ticket, like when, and that was like in spring, and I was like, yeah, like in the autumn, I guess, you know, like a couple of months could be like enough, so I would be here like for a year, you know, just to finish, you know, the like the full circle, like at least like have a year in the UK, and so I was planning to go back in October, but But it was just too much. It was just too much. And I was like, I've got one chance, because in the future, like, I will not be able to come back, will I? So I was like, I'm here, and right now it's like, it's take it or leave it. And I just like felt the pressure of like him like pushing me into like, you know, like being supportive, but at the same time, like towards the, like in summer, he started to be like incredibly like pushy. Like, you know, it was like every day, have you booked your plane ticket? When are you coming back? Like, and it was like this, like constantly. And I was like, I don't know. I just don't feel ready. Like right now, I'm just not ready, and I just can't. I just can't. And that was basically what I sent to him in one of the messages. And he was like, he understood that, like, that it was a breakup message, but it wasn't. I was just like saying that I'm just not ready and I don't know what to do, and I don't expect him to understand that, but you know, like it's too much, and I'm not ready. And if I want to, you know, succeed, and you know, like, then like I just couldn't. And he got angry, obviously, and like I was like initially like writing something like, you know, I didn't mean it that way, like I don't want to break up, like I want, you know, us to be like together, but I just can't, like I can't do it like right now. Like it's yeah, it was the pressure of the moment. And you know, I went out with Greta one day and I met Ollie and we were just dancing, and yeah, we had a kiss. So I did cheat on him. It was awful, but it was just like nice, because as we were like talking to each other, like we met up in a club and we were just dancing, and then Greta said like, let's come to mine for the afters. And yeah, we got there and we were standing like on the terrace and we were just talking, and he understood me, I understood him, and we just like matched, like our personalities matched. Like we were talking about, you know, his job, and just because he was a graphic designer and he was like freelancing and he was really passionate about his job, and he was like really, you know, like my vibe at that time. And I was like, I don't know, it just changed my perspective as well, because you know, my ex-boyfriend, he wanted to stay in this village in his like parents' house, and everything was a problem. And you know, he had the same attitude, I said it before, like my mom, like very like reasonable, you have to think about everything, and you know, no extreme like emotions. And just because I'm really like excitable, you know, like sometimes it is like killing my excitement and my passions. And Oliver was different. Like when I said, oh my god, like I would love to go to Paris, he was like, let's go, shall we go, like, you know, at the weekend? I was like, I'm working, so you know, the weekend after that. And he was like, yeah, why not? And we were like so quick to like organize everything, and it was like, you know, just I don't know, it just like matched me. And then I started like questioning, you know, my relationship before, like, because he was like different, Johnny, yeah, the boyfriend that I had like in the Czech Republic, he was different, but I was able to like manage that at that time, and it was lovely at that time. But you know, when I saw like what could be, you know, like possible, and I met those people from all over the world, and you know, everybody was so like passionate about everything. And you know, then I just like remember those people, you know, in that village who were like, you know, just you know, like no dreams, no passions, no motivation, like just, you know, yeah, we just work in this, you know, like company, and you know, doing this like monkey job, like doing the same thing over and over again. And just their main priority was just, you know, like being friends and just visiting each other, like no hobbies, no nothing. And it was killing me, it was killing me. So when I, you know, was deciding if I should like stop my mission in Brighton in order to go back to that environment, to the boyfriend who was like quite different than me, you know, and I would base that on his like promises of him being different in the future, although he had failed me before. like I know it's not nice, and I'm really like, you know, like sad that the relationship ended, because it might have been amazing. Like maybe he would have changed and things like would have been amazing, and you know, it like now we would be, you know, together with like children and stuff and things like this. I don't know, but at that time it just didn't feel right. It just didn't feel right to leave, and just because I had that experience with Oliver, I just felt like, yeah, I couldn't. But I didn't want to break up. I still like wanted to kind of like go back at some point, but as he was like really pushy, like with the plane tickets, like have you with the plane ticket, have you, when are you coming back? And it was like too much, and Ollie was just like so chilled and like all right with everything, and just like, you know, like the same, like we went out like clubbing like once and stuff, and I just couldn't like we were like friends, and it was like really cool. And then as I sent the message of like me not being ready to go back, and Johnny understood that like it's over then, I just didn't reply to that, and I just like let it be. And then I was like, okay, it's done. Like it was done. And the problem was that I just like brushed, I just ignored it, you know, like the breakup, I completely ignored that, and that was the reason of my paralysis, basically, because I didn't deal with that at all. I just like, I read his message when he was like I'm a fucking idiot, like what was I doing with, you know, with the ring, and like hoping for you to come back, like, you know, I'm an idiot and I'm stupid and all of those things. Like it was oh my god, it was hard. But I just like ignored that, and I just went like straight into some sort of like, not relationship at that time, but you know, hanging out with Ollie and his friends, and you know, with the people from the Lion and Lobster, and you know, the girls from the hotel, and like all of the people. And I was like, I was relieved at that time. I was like, now the pressure is off. Like my mum, she's gonna understand. She's always like supported me, and she will manage that. And I didn't have the pressure from Johnny pushing me, so I was like, now I can chill. Now there is no stress, because I hate stress. It freaks me out. And so it was the combination of like, you know, him being extremely pushy and pushing me into something that I was not like ready for at that time. The stress of like me like potentially be looking for a job, like when I was not like ready, and meeting Oliver, who was like just chill and more like me. He just matched my personality more than anybody, and it was just the combination of all of those things, and that was it. I'm surprised that I didn't cry right now. Like I'm tearing up, but I'm still kind of like, yeah, I managed that. Because the other day I was processing, you know, those like memories, and I started to cry. So maybe I'm like, you know, I've accepted the reality that I'm a little piece of shit. I broke someone's heart, and I was awful, but at the same time I'm not saying that what I've got right now and my life right now is worth it. Like it was worth like breaking someone's heart, but he broke mine as well. I know it's not a game. I know, you know, I should not be thinking like that, but I was sad. Like I was really sad when I was, you know, like leaving, and I was like really angry like with him. So like I had it, like I'm not justifying like anything that I did, but it's much more complex than you know, like like we were together and I decided, you know, to move into a different country, and then I cheated on him and I found someone else and I broke up with him. Like that's not the case. It was a lot of like emotions and a lot of struggles and a lot of misunderstandings, and it was just not that. And although I sometimes, you know, feel like, you know, it is justified, and, you know, like I didn't, you know, like it's still, I feel like awful, because it is awful, and I'm not proud of, like, yeah, because that guy that I kissed in the pub, like that was like in November or December. So like I had a kiss with somebody when we were still like planning our future together with Johnny. So we did kiss because he was listening. He was listening to me. He was like really interested, and Johnny at that time, like, he didn't give a fuck. He was like, no. So it was different. It's different. Like this is like, you know, the interest and the someone's, you know, somebody's curious about you. Like this is dangerous. And I didn't manage to like resist that. Yeah, like I didn't initiate it, but, you know, like should have stopped that. Yeah, and basically, yeah, like that was over, and after that, like I went crazy. My sleep paralysis appeared because of that, and the rash started, and like I was partying a lot at that time as well, and yeah, like I got punished. I got punished for my behavior, and the whole time, like, you know, it was, especially the paralysis, like that was a punishment for me and for my brain and for that stupid behavior, and for me not like dealing with the situation the right way. So it doesn't justify, but I like did suffer because it was nightmares about him and like his friends like hunting me down and things like that. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about, yeah, one day I'm gonna talk about it in a depth, but yeah, that was definitely the reason. And when I actually when I realized that it was getting like out of hand, and I was not able to sleep for like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 months, I was getting delusional, and I was like terrified of falling asleep, and I was abusing alcohol because I couldn't fall asleep by myself, so I needed to get drunk in order to like just be like so drained and tired and drunk, so I would like fall asleep by myself. And then that was even worse, right, because alcohol and tiredness, it just like, you know, provokes the sleep paralysis. Yeah, so I was in a vicious cycle, yeah, both. So that was hard at that time, right? Yeah, but then what helped me, the secret that helped me was just actually to like face those emotions that I had at that time. I don't know when exactly I did it, maybe I'm gonna talk about it, but like here. But what helped me eventually was, you know, to sit down on the beach. I had a bottle of wine or cider or whatever. I got a bit tipsy or a bit drunk. I played some sad songs, and I went through our conversations, and I went through the photos of us that I had, and I just cried myself out. I was crying and crying and crying and crying, and it was, I just got it out, and then I had the best night's sleep ever. After that, I slept for like 15 hours or something. Okay, and we are dying. Okay, so I'm gonna stop it here, and I'm gonna continue with